Articles we discuss, feel the rush, come join us. Fans.
Hey, welcome to Fan Zone Live. This is actually our first show since the Arena Crown. We didn't actually get a chance to do a follow-up. Life kind of got in the way. So we're here and man, it's been an exciting couple of weeks in the league. Tim's out of town and busy this week. So Zach thankfully came and is here to join me today. Zach, how you been?
I'm good. I'm always ready to come off the bench and jump on in if I need it. Whatever you want to choose. You can call me best bench player for your show. You can call me a great Iron Man player for your show. I'm game either way, man. But it's good to be on and for a great interview too. Since we get to be the first show, we get to have this be the first show we talk to a brand new AF1 owner. That honestly great buzz around this launch too. So I'll leave it off at that, Scott. You take it away from there.
There you go. Well, like Zach said, we got Corey Cunningham here, the owner of the new Kentucky Barrels, which man, I've heard a little criticism, but man, I love the name personally. I absolutely love the name. But of course, I'm a big whiskey guy, so that goes well with me. So Corey, welcome. How are you doing? How are things out there?
Insane. Absolutely insane. Thank you for having.
There, a little bit of a data lag there.
We'll get him.
So we'll get him back here. Yeah. Oh, here he is.
There it is.
All right. So you're saying it's been insane.
Yeah, it's been insane. It's still going insane. But yeah, it's just a whirlwind. From the press conference to all the support that we've gotten online, haters alike or not, it's been great. It's been amazing.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be frank with you, Corey. We look and, you always get these announcements and I think, everybody's got their own take on said things. Arena fans, if there's one thing you'll learn, they are very meticulous, especially the hardcore ones, on evaluating like everything about these teams and like just kind of diving hardcore and like, who is this guy? What's the name like? What's this atmosphere for this organization? I'll be honest with you. I've been blown away at the feedback you guys are getting. It's been incredible the last few days. And not only that, can you speak on just like the greater Cincinnati coverage? Cause like, it's not all, like sometimes this does happen this way, but like for as a big a city as Cincinnati is, like, it seems like anyone and everybody wants to talk about you, and it's been a really well covered, and that's great start to kick you guys off.
Yeah. And, the reception here has been phenomenal. The folks at Truist Arena and Northern Kentucky University did a great job of sending this out to the press, getting the word out, and then doing our press conference yesterday and kind of launching everything. They did a lot of the legwork for us. They've been phenomenal with that. But yeah, the reception we've received has been, a lot more even than what we thought. We've had arena teams here in the past, so we thought maybe the launch wouldn't be that well received, but there's a want here, especially at Northern Kentucky University. They don't have a football team.
Yeah.
So, and that's where I see this as being a possible strength. It reminds me a lot of what the Cats are doing with their setup in the college town, the college arena. Sorry, Corey, I was just saying about the Cats.
Yeah,
Cats are doing that. The Cats are doing something similar where they're in a smaller arena in a college town, not a whole lot else going on there. And man, it was a great atmosphere. I went to both the last two games there down in for the Nashville, and they were just great games.
Yeah, and Clarksville is a great venue. It's a great venue. Just like Truist Arena, it's just a great place to watch it. You can sit in the last row and still have just a great seat. The way the seats are positioned, looking right down in the field, seeing the action. It's a beautiful venue. We hit a home run with that big time.
So is that always the target, or is there ever a point where you guys are considering Cincinnati proper?
We were. We actually spoke with Heritage Bank, which is downtown Cincinnati. we didn't want to just meet with one venue. We wanted to, meet with both venues. Um, and when we got to Truist Arena, the reception there was just second to none. They had people from the Chamber of Commerce, they had Northern Kentucky University there. They just had all the players in the room at the right time, and they all wanted it. You could tell it wasn't, hey, we need this to have revenue. We want this for our arena.
They
It
wanted you.
was, this is exciting. We
Mhm.
want this here. We need football. We want football. The state of Kentucky wants football. I mean, it was overwhelming. It was just as soon as we walked in, we knew.
Well, and for those people that don't know, this area of Kentucky we're talking about, I'm from Kansas City. We had Kansas City, Missouri, Kansas City, Kansas. This is essentially Cincinnati's Kansas City, Kansas. It's the same city, right?
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah,
one.
we are 3 minutes away from downtown.
Exactly. So, I mean, so it is a Cincinnati team, even though it is a Kentucky's located, it is a Cincinnati team.
Well, we can't say it. Cincinnati already took the airport because the airport
Right.
is in Kentucky, and we
It
call
is.
it Cincinnati Airport. So, I don't want to start those. I don't want to start those rumors or people talking about that.
Fair enough.
I learned the airport thing last year going to the Indy 500. It was the only place I could get a flight that was reasonable. And did not realize, oh, wait, I'm not really landing. It's there, but like, I mean, I've heard that. I've had friends from Cleveland when I visited, like, and when we talk about it, and you probably heard this all for a lot of your life. Oh, Northern Kentucky brought up as Cincinnati instead. So
Yes.
Like I said, I moved out to St. Louis. I'm over on the Illinois side. I still say I live in St. Louis. I mean, that's just how that works.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah. So we kind of got this a little bit off air. Why AF1? Was this the league you always wanted? Did you shop around? What drew you here? What got you here?
And just to be totally honest, the whole Jeff Fisher, him being the commissioner, obviously knowing his background, his history, I when I initially looked at arena football, I went to a game with our director of operations football personnel, Gary Compton, um, and he was like a 12-year-old kid at the game. He's going crazy like a fan in the stands, but he's there on a league official business. Like, he's there as representing the league, but he was going crazy. And then, his passion, talking to Jeff, he's all in. I know, he's got a hand in this or whatever, but he is so energetic about this. The way he talks about it, you know, you almost want to get out there and hit somebody. I understand why he was a coach for so long, why he has 173 wins. He's just an amazing guy, has all the stories you could ever think of about football, about everybody. You could sit there and talk to him for hours and think you're sitting there for 10 minutes. He's just a great guy. Everyone in the league has been, so welcoming, owners, players, just the guys I've gotten to interact with, um, top to bottom, have just been super welcoming and, answering any questions I have. I just felt very comfortable with this league and moving forward and bringing it here to Kentucky.
Well, and you kind of hit a home run with your coach right off the bat too. Can't ask for
Yeah. I got put in a good spot there. Cedric is incredible. I mean, he's been here for 2 weeks, and we've gotten so much done. He's taught me so much. But for him to make that leap from Billings to Kentucky, we bought a house here, or he bought a house here, and he moved here. He uprooted himself, and he came here and is living here. He's 5 minutes away from the arena. He's interacting with the community already. I mean, people already say, "Hey, Cedric, walking down the street." And I'm like, "You've been here 2 weeks. How did people already know you?" He's just an infectious guy. You're drawn to him. He's just got a great personality. But yeah, and an even better coach. So like you said, this was, to use a football term, a touchdown. for me. So it was a great get for us.
Well, and honestly, it tells me a lot about you and the way you've already got your organization set, because he's not somebody that's just going to, leave I don't know what, a stalwart of indoor football in Billings to come start up with an upstart that may or may not be around next year. If he's here and if he's making that move, he believes that you're going to be long term in this, and that tells me a lot about you and what you've got set up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
and we had a lot of good conversations before he committed. We talked about our vision, what we wanted, and I said in the press conference, I'm here for championships. Cincinnati, Greater Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky, we're struggling in that department. So, we want championships here, and I know he's the guy that can bring them here. So, like I said, our visions kind of aligned, and we're off and running.
I'll tell you one thing that doesn't get brought up enough, and I don't know all of your guys' plans on how the organization's fulfilled. I know we just announced it, and still maybe a few things are getting mashed out, but I mean, you obviously get a massive value not only from Walker being a coach, but the fact he knows the entire front office scheme. He's been a GM, he's been recruit personnel, like he's an all-in-one package. You don't just get a coach, which not all arena coaches can do that. Some do need team presidents or GMs. He's shown he can win. He's shown he can win without needing to have all the staff and just do it all himself, and very efficiently do it and recruit people for you.
Yeah, and that was actually a huge deal for me, because him coming in as coach and GM, me being a first timer, he knows the ins and outs. That for me was huge, and I owe a lot to Jerry Kurz about that, because he got us in contact, and got that relationship started, and it just fostered into what it is now. I mean, him and I almost consider him a good friend, and we've only been together for 2 weeks. Yeah, but like I said, you'd gravitate towards the guy. He is just a phenomenal person and an even better coach.
I love it. Yeah, you mean that helps us well. Again, just veteran guy like that's awesome to have. I mean, not to spoil anything right away, but like, do you already know certain tryout places you're looking at for, like, looking at local talents or whatnot, or is that still kind of being discussed?
Yeah. We're still in the works on where we're going to hold open tryouts. There's a lot of universities around here, a lot of smaller colleges. We want to go out, obviously meet everybody at every college. But that's still up in the air, still in the works. We're going to see what we do September 1st when free agency signing comes up, see who we can sign veteran wise. And then hopefully middle of October, have some open tryouts here, because we do want some local flavor. We want, people can gravitate towards local kids that play here. If they played high school here, college here, that's a big thing for us, is having that local flavor. Having kids that have played here, that people know their names, want to follow them, hopefully one day see them move up to another level, be the next Kurt Warner. Something like that. That's what we're looking to do. Maybe 5, 6, 7 guys here that are Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky tied.
Nice. And who knows? Like I said, next Kurt Warner, but even more so recently, maybe the next Sam Castronova. We've been cheering that one on. Great, and I can't tell you enough, Corey. And Scott will feel the same. I am thrilled for that man finally getting a next level outdoor opportunity, because that is a great sign for our sport as well. That you can get it. We have quality QBs that can get looks and get that next step.
Not just that, 3 guys off this team. I mean, wow, that says a lot about Auburn.
I think now a total of 5 have signed. Yeah.
Oh, geez.
But congratulations to Sam. And honestly, he is a great person too. Got to spend some time with him at the Arena Crown. Just a great guy. Kudos to him. Phenomenal season last season, and he deserves everything he gets.
You know, that's the best part about, to me, the best part about this league is the games are fun. The game, you know, without a doubt, the games are the games, but it's the people in this game that make all the difference, and getting to know the folks just changes everything.
100%.
You know, I want to touch on
100%. And
you go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You.
I was just going to say, you know, at the Arena Crown, talking all the players, you know, these are guys who didn't get looks, you know, to go to the NFL, USFL, whatever it is. So they have that fire, that desire that, you know, some of those players in the NFL and USFL don't have. These guys all have chips on their shoulders, but they're all humble. You know, they all know that we can get them to the next level. We're trying to get them to the next level. And, you know, community, character, and I always forget the third. Commitment. That's you know, the AF1, you know, 3 C's. And you know, we make sure the guys stand by that.
The other thing I like too is this is somewhat the league of second chances. You know, some guy that maybe got in trouble coming out of high school, or got in trouble, you know, as a freshman, sophomore in college, and lost their chance at you know, being in the spotlight and moving on to the next level. This gives them a second chance. Hey, come play here. You know, show off, show that you can still show that you've, you know, made changes in your life, and maybe get that shot that you missed earlier. There's a lot of guys out there like
absolutely.
that.
And piggybacking off that, even injuries. You know, guys have injuries that, you know, their junior, senior year, that ACLs, whatever, you know, they come back, you know, they didn't get the looks because they didn't play that final year, or whatever, you know, someone grabbed their spot, took their spot, you know, this is it. This is another chance for them. Absolutely. I agree with that.
Kind of want to ask you, Corey, just because I know this team, you know, very tied in with the universities we just talked. You know, it's Northern Kentucky's been in every step of this, when it's been publicly announced now, has been saying how much they are thrilled to have this team, how much it's, you know, connected to the success of the team, is connected so much with the university and trying to build things around that in the university's culture and student body and whatnot. You're an alumnus of the school. I just got to ask, like, what is the Northern Kentucky experience for people? Because I mean, I'm looking right now, and like, I'll be honest with you, going to games, like, I already see a comment about, you know, walking the bridge to the arena. I was like, what's going on with that? And like, that seems like a great opportunity to just kick things off going over to Truist. It's I mean, that's just one bit of the whole experience for that look, from what it looks like.
No, Northern Kentucky is amazing. They've grown so much. When I was there, they were an NAIA school. Now they're Division I. They've grown exponentially since I was there in '98. But yeah, the bridge over to the arena is really cool, because our game plan is to have tailgating in the garage on the other side of that walkway, and then walk people over. And I think that'll be really cool. We're going to have music playing and all that. It's going to be a party before, and then everybody's going to walk into the arena. But yeah, it goes over the street, the main drag of North Kentucky, Louis V. Nunn. So it's just a great experience. You know, like I said, it was just a massive home run or touchdown when we met with these guys. And you know, it's just been overwhelming and phenomenal and humbling experience, dealing with everyone at the university and the arena. It's just been great. I mean, everything we could ask for and more.
I love it.
So I gotta ask about the name. Like I said earlier, I love it. You know, personally, it's great. What else is considered? I always love hearing the ones that didn't get picked. So what got passed over?
Well, we had a couple, and I'm sure there's going to be a gentleman commenting on this. A lot of people wanted the Harambe's because of the gorilla in Cincinnati.
That's great.
That was quickly shot down. Very
Literally.
quickly shot down. But honestly, yes. Yes. He gave his life. But yeah, we really didn't kick around a whole lot of names. We were at the Arena Crown, and we're sitting there drinking Kentucky bourbon, and we're like, why not? I mean, this is a staple in Kentucky, Kentucky Bourbon Trail, bourbon barrels.
Mhm.
Like it just fits. And, that's really, really it. Like we kind of just said that we don't need any other names. And then we AI'd the color scheme and then here we are. This is what we got. And it's uh there you go. Harambe merch would be insane. Yeah.
Oh, oh my gosh.
Uh,
So
That's
yeah,
gonna end up
it,
on your guys'
it's
Wikipedia when that
uh,
someone puts that in, or I'll put it in.
yes, please don't. Um
all right, so
yeah,
Whiskey
but the
Snobs Lab.
reception on it, we're getting a lot of requests for merch. So
Oh, yeah.
that's a good thing.
And the merch I've seen so far is pretty cool.
Maybe we'll throw a Harambe night out there.
There you go. There you go. A moment of silence before the game starts.
There you go. There you
Yes,
go.
respect. Yeah.
All right, so the whiskey or bourbon snobs are gonna notice something on this.
If you didn't say it, Scott, I was going to take it around social. The 100 proof on the
Yes. 100 proof is 50%,
Absolutely. 100 proof football.
but that's 50%. What's the other 50%?
Well, 100 proof is the purest amount you can get for bourbon. So
Okay.
Oh, all right.
we're giving
Fair.
you the best of the best.
Fair
That's
enough.
as good as it gets.
You know what? I've learned something today because I did not know that was also how that goes with the proofing. And I've done Evan Williams tours in Louisville in the past too, when I just did not catch that fact. That's great.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, because like that was funny because like of the few things we did see, like talking about the team name, it's like the barrel name. You have your opinion. I think it's great too. But they're like, well, wait a minute, yeah, it is 50, but I didn't realize that. It's whiskey snobs.
Yes, it's the purest you can get.
Yeah,
Fair enough. Fair enough.
nice.
So hopefully that leads into some nice little sponsorships by some of the local distilleries. Maybe get somebody to give samples at the game.
Oh, we're looking into it. Yeah.
We were
Absolutely.
talking before the Arena Crown. What better sponsor than Crown Royal for the Arena Crown? I mean,
There you go. I'll talk to Jerry about that.
I'm not gonna lie, that would be kind of funny to have it where it's like we just got a Kentucky bourbon named team, and
Right,
we're
we're
gonna
Canadian.
whiskey to be the league sponsor.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be good. That'd be good. Oh. That's funny.
So I get leagues messaging me about other stuff now too. So
Corey, actually, I'm going to ask this because kind of you just to touch back on the newishness nature, learning about this whole arena scene now and getting in. Was fortunate enough to sit in at the 2024 AF Arena Football University meetings, like the first league meetings last year. I learned a lot about the business there too. There's a lot of newer owners got to sit in and, they shared around ideas. I understand and take it. We're going to, league meetings coming up soon enough. I mean, what are you wanting to get from the first kind of like full grasp of the 2026 prep, that you maybe are still looking to, I guess, discuss with maybe teams or some of the other organizations that have ideas that work or workshopping?
Yeah, absolutely. We do have AF1 coming up the end of September, or AFU coming up the end of September. And, for me, what do you guys have for halftime shows? How do you guys get butts in the seats? We want to work with charities, sponsorships. What do you guys do? For example, Nashville, they do such a phenomenal job of bringing in John Gruden, Michael Waltrip. They have people that people gravitate to. People know their names. How do you get those people involved? And then what do you guys do for we're talking to USA flag football. Half times do we play the flag football with the kids? So just various things that we can do to draw people in, and fun things to do for half times or before or after games. Just to enhance that personal, intimate experience that we want to have with players and fans. What's worked for them and what hasn't worked for them.
It'd be nice to get a nice partnership with the USA flag football, in that we do have flag football coming up in the Olympics soon, and that was one of the promises of the 2024 season is, hey, we're in tight with them. We're going to get to pick who gets to be on these teams. There's a lot of promises from that group. So, but it'd just be nice to get in tight with those guys and be able to showcase maybe some of our talent on the world stage. I mean, that would be incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's what we want to do. We want to get these guys as much film wherever we can, try and elevate them to the next level.
Most definitely, man. I'm stoked for this wholeheartedly. I'll tell you who else is really stoked, by the way. I've seen a lot of great response from Nashville fans having a state rival of sorts. I know it's right on the, we were talking with Cincinnati, but the fact that you got that, not only Kentucky, Tennessee, but I mean, if we're going to lean into the whiskey aspect of this alone, that's its own set of things going in there. I mean, a lot of Nashville folks are pretty stoked.
We had a good conversation. Yeah. And the good thing is, our fans, I do believe, will travel well. Their fans will travel well. There has been talk of doing so here in Cincinnati. University of Cincinnati and the University of Louisville play for the Keg of Nails. So we're talking about doing something with a distillery or two, and building something like that to have, whoever wins the Keg of Nails gets it that year, that game, whatever it is. Just to make it fun, something to play for, build that rivalry, get the fans involved. It's the team that, like I said, the team down there in Nashville, those guys are phenomenal. Greg, Bobby, Jeff, John, everyone is just so cool. And they want to do this, just to keep it fun and play for something. It's always good to be able to brag, against your competitors and say, hey, we have that, we own that now. Just something fun to do.
You go ahead, Scott.
I'll say, so you mentioned looking at what Nashville's doing with bringing in their kind of celebrity owners. I take it that you've got some folks hopefully in mind to kind of add and pad your ownership group.
Yeah, I haven't really reached out to anybody. Right now, we have so many local, I don't want to say celebrities, people, that live in the area that, we could reach out to. Honestly, I'd rather prove what we have on the field, show that we have a championship team, that we're here to win. And then if those people want to come and hop on this train, they're more than welcome to. We do have a partnership with the Cincy Hat, which is Ted Karras, the center for the Cincinnati Bengals, his foundation. But it's nothing other than his charity is getting benefits. We're benefiting them from our 50-50 split the pot. They're making a hat for us that we can sell that'll benefit them and us. And then, we'll have them at, having a table at the game that they can sell hats at. Those are more the partnerships that we're looking for right now. And then we just want to build the relationships. And if something fosters into something else, we're looking, we're open to it.
It's a good step into just getting into the community, getting involved with a charity like that. Any other big, local, anywhere where the locals could expect to see you anytime soon? I guess what I'm asking. Festivals or anything that are coming up out there that you guys plan to have a booth or anything? Still early, so I know
I do love some festivals. Yeah. Actually, the last one around here is next weekend. But I'm always out and about on the west side of Cincinnati, and then Coach and I we always go out and have lunch at a different place around northern Kentucky. We're going to try and get out and about as much as possible, hand out some swag to everybody, have people walking up and down the street in barrel shirts. That's our goal. we will be out. You will be seeing me. So remember this face, everyone. I'll be the guy in the barrel shirt. And then I'll be walking with Cedric, and he'll have a barrel shirt on too. And then we're going to hand you a barrel shirt.
There you go.
Yeah, man. Hey, as I've been told in the past, you get out there, you try and put yourself in a position where you are visible. And I mean, hey, your brand sells too what you wear. So I mean, that is part of the whole thing, but I mean, I'm speaking to an entrepreneur yourself here. I'm not to repeat stuff, but it's very important. Like this sport, I can't reiterate. And Scott, I'm going to bleed a little bit into this because I've had a bit of heart-to-heart combos on the UFL. We're talking like, a little bit larger league scale to talk about the local market presence versus the national market presence. This is a very localized sport, still growing. AF1's done a great job at getting better nationally, I feel. But as you'll see, Corey, and I think owners and even like Jerry Kurz and like Jeff have iterated to you if you want to comment on that. The local exposure is so important for these teams to get people out, because it's not just, so much more about the community aspects to having these teams succeed. And I know you're already thinking about that, but like, if you want to elaborate more, I mean, that's something that goes way farther with Arena and has been a strength of Arena with how successful teams build.
Well, I
Yeah. And I think, like you said, getting out there, meeting the people, talking to the people. We have the Bengals here, but they're still at arm's length. You can't go out, have a meal with those guys. You can't go get autographs after the game. That's more of a scheduled situation. We love our Bengals here, but they're not accessible. And we want our players, coaches, myself to be accessible to anybody at any time. The partnerships that we build, sponsorships, we want to go out and meet their employees, family, friends, all that. Like you said, it is a community. You have to get community outreach. The FC Cincinnati soccer team here in Cincinnati does a fantastic job of doing, getting out there. They have a wonderful fan base, and that's something we kind of want to mimic here. Build that fan base, get out and see the people, go to the bars, restaurants, whatever it is for whatever they're doing. If it's a Reds game or a Cyclones game, whatever it is, go out and see the people, wear your barrel shirt, let them know who you are. That's how we want to build our brand.
Yeah, great reference on the MLS. I've already seen the comments, people talking about the Nashville and FC Cincinnati discussion. I know we've tied back a little bit earlier, but like, again, it's, FC Cincinnati, I've living out in Indianapolis and kind of hearing about their squad and all that too, just from when I've been there over the years. And when I go back, I mean, they're well represented when I go and visit the city. Like that's just the thing. And, it's like you tie back, you got to be, how do I put this? You always got to me, if you're like running a team or you're in like the sales or promo, and from my time working in promo and radio, you're always trying to sell and trying to get yourself in front of people's eyes. That is always the challenge. There's no time to not be doing that. So
absolutely. That's right. Yep. No, 100%. We always have to be out there selling and meeting people and, shaking hands, kissing babies, whatever we got to do to, get out there and make sure people know our faces.
So you are getting a couple suggestions coming in chat here for your intro video. Harambe throwing barrels at the opponents, Donkey Kong style.
Okay, so okay,
you might
love the suggestions.
You might need to have the mascot actually be a gorilla at this rate.
Ooh.
What else?
I already bought the mascot.
Well,
there you go. So,
hey, we hope so. I'd love to see it. They have to have the suspenders with the barrels, no shirt underneath with the suspender and the barrel. Look up the Denver Broncos fan. That's a great example. We'd love to see people come out like that.
But please be wearing pants. Please. If nothing else, please be wearing pants.
On
Yes,
on your mascot
Please.
front, I think my
Yes.
favorite I think
Yes.
my favorite comment someone had today when I was talking to him off the show was I'm just imagining and you don't have to spoil the mascot for me for this, but they're like, I'm just imagining the barrels like the Duke's Mayo Bowl guy, where he's just like googly eyes and it's just a barrel walking around like a goober.
Yeah, that's not far off. I'll be honest. That is not far off.
There we go.
Not far off at all.
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
I love this. I love this already.
You guys now have inside information. That is not far off.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see this.
That's gonna be fun. I'm just picturing a Pac-Man ghost, just barrels.
Yeah.
You know, like
Oh man.
It's going to be fun. And that's another thing too. We want to have fun. We want to be a successful team. We also want to have fun. We want our fans to have fun. My wife actually says, well, your 3-barrel logo is kind of cartoony. And I said,
Yeah.
it's fun. We're having fun. This is a game. We're trying to have fun, but we also want to win.
Right.
So, we want to have fun with it, but also be successful. But it's gimmicky. You got to bring fans. You have a goofy looking mascot. Everybody wants a picture with it. That's what we're going for.
Scott knows this too. Like this is like Arena's always leaned into this. Like I love this stuff. That's one of the things I love about Arena. It's like taking the brands and what can we make it that's out there? It's different. We are a different product. We are football, but we are more in your face, more fast paced, and more just unique in its own way.
I would say the worst franchises and the worst time in this league is when they took themselves too seriously. I've got a Tulsa Talon shirt, and on the back it says, "I like it against the wall." Like, what a great shirt for arena football.
Right. That's so.
Oh yeah,
fast, I bet.
it was. They had them in all different colors, and they sold like hotcakes. I was at South Dakota. I think Salina also did. They did MILF and DILF. Man, I love football.
Yeah, that
would. I mean, you got. This is a different game. You may as well just have fun with it, because that's you could lose.
Absolutely.
And when you lose, if you had a good time at the game, you're not going to remember the score. I mean, you want to win, but if you put out that good product regardless, people won't care about the score. They'll keep coming back.
Right. Yeah. And that's the thing about the greater Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky area. If you put a good product on the field, the fans will come out. Any major sport that we have here, as long as they're winning or being successful, it's the fans are there. They love sports here. We love sports here. It's they'll come out. You build it, they will come. So that's what we're trying to do here is build that fun fan experience, have a winning team. And, I do believe the fans will come if we put those together.
So your shirt's on the Royal Retro site. You've got one there. Is there anywhere to get? I've seen it 2 others. Is there anywhere else to get them? Right.
Oh, I did see that one. Yeah.
So I like that.
There's
I like that
one.
a lot.
And then we have one with 3 barrels on it that says Barrels Football as well. We are working on the link to that. Royal Retros only has our main logo, which is the 100 proof football one. Right now, but we are going to come out. We have hats to launch. We got the whole women's line coming out. My wife told me I had to have that. So, we got a whole line of merch coming out, and hopefully we'll have the link to that before the end of the week. So everyone go on, start buying their barrels gear.
All right, I got one for you. Rather than cheese head, you got barrel head. Big foam barrel.
Barrelhead
instead of the cheese.
Yes.
Yeah.
There you go. That wouldn't be a bad deal. I like that.
Brian's asking about some of the names that didn't make a cut. We actually talked about that earlier, Brian. We can shoot you a link or to this when it's done. It's all on there. Wasn't much that was considered though.
I guess the chat's been pretty on it for one of them. You could probably put the dots together.
Yeah. Any idea? I know it's still early. Any idea what pricing is going to look like? Low to high, that kind of thing.
Yeah, no, we're as
Mhm.
far as ticketing,
Yes,
is that
yes.
what you're asking for ticketing? Yeah, no, we are going to be super affordable. Our tickets range from $16 to $60. um that's and then you get the Ticketmaster junk on that. But then we'll have some on the field suites around the stadium, or around the arena suites that will be available. We do have a beer garden that's available, and also what we're hoping for is a bourbon garden, to have beer and bourbon
Nice.
covered, because people like both of those things. um, so yeah, we'll have some options outside of just general admission, to get a little more intimate to the game. Those are the ones that are right up against the dashers that we'll send out once we have our suite pricing completed.
So I got to ask about this is on the press release, and ASM Global was specifically called out on the press release. Are they just running the arena? Are they having any more part in the team? What's what's their role in this?
That they are yeah, they
Okay.
manage the arena. Yeah, they just manage the arena. Yeah, it's owned by Northern Kentucky University, but ASM Global runs it.
Yeah, I was a longtime employee of ASM Global, so I was like, oh wow, I know those guys.
Yeah, they have been outstanding. I mean, they've done their research on us before we walked in the door. They knew what they wanted in somebody coming in, and they have done everything that we have asked for and more. Like I said, office space, anybody at our disposal to move our stuff around. They've helped us out so much. It's been overwhelming. They've been
League
phenomenal.
wide, they run a lot of arenas in this country, so to have a good partnership, good relationship with them is
Yes.
huge for the whole league. So that's definitely good to hear.
Yeah.
Uh,
Corey, this is another question around the university aspect, and I think a few people have talked about this after this announcement. And I don't know how much insight you have here. Do you see your team as like maybe a potential outline on like the university and like outside sports relationship with AF1 or like other leagues like this to maybe model? Because I mean, Northern Kentucky's very, and of course they're invested because of what you've mentioned with they want football of some kind. But some people have looked, I think, beyond this in the few days we've been knowing that the barrels exist and seeing what if this takes off. Is this like setting a standard where we can see more of like these university aspect maybe grow with arena football? Some people have wanted that more, is what I'm kind of throwing out.
Yeah. No, I 100% think this is going to turn into a model that arena teams should go after. The resources that Northern Kentucky University is providing us with the sports management, communications, social media, production of the TV, once the Vice, or deal with Vice TV, they're providing internships, or we're providing internships to Northern Kentucky University. They're providing us the people for it. You know, it's cost savings. As an owner, you're looking to cut cost, not cut costs, but look at the bottom line as much as you can.
Yeah.
And if you can use these resources at a university, it gets those kids real world experience. If they're in sports management, this is what they want to do. This is a phenomenal jumping board for them. It is a professional sport. That's a great resume builder. And it's free resources for us. It's a win-win for everyone. But yeah, to answer your question, I think this will turn out to be a model for a lot of arena teams moving forward. It benefits everyone, university, the arena, our team. It's just a win all around. It's
Right.
a
And I
no-brainer
think
for me.
for some colleges, we're not, you got massive scale colleges that, they have tons of tenants and tons of big appeal to other events. I feel from what I understand, that's not every arena in the country. There's a lot of arenas kind of that size that Northern Kentucky has that like, they do want more things to kind of fill out those gaps. And, not only that, the discussion that Scott and I have had in the past, it's, being a higher tier tenant, someone that, you know, the arena can work closely with the team, not being, you know, a tertiary or like even fourth placed like entity where you're having to fight with, you know, availability or fight with how much preference you get with like the arena management. You know, that's something that fans and I think a lot of people don't think about, but it's huge to how these teams operate, because it can be a bane on your existence or it can be a boon to how you do business with your community and especially with the arena itself.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, you kind of hit on a point with arena availability. You know, they house Northern Kentucky men's and women's basketball. Their season's over when our season starts. So that is sitting vacant. Now they have concerts, they have graduations, they have a few other things in there, the rodeo, circus, things like that. But for the most part, they didn't have anything in there. So for AF1, the scheduling at that arena is a lot easier than some other venues that have year-round events. You know, Albany had a couple teams at the MVP arena that they had to deal with. So it works out great. You know, if you can find a venue similar to Truist, um, I would suggest find it and go for it, because you know those types of arenas want you as a tenant, not a tenant. They want you as a partner. They want you, you know, they want this, and it's a win for everybody. You know, like I've said several times, this has been just an absolute home run for us. You know, if you're looking and getting into arena, look at your local universities that have arenas. It's a win-win-win-win-win for everyone.
So the facility itself, yes, there's not a whole lot of pictures of the inside that I was able to pull up online, and most of what's out there is the basketball court set up. Um, how are the dimensions going to work? I mean, can it be pulled? I mean, obviously it works because you wouldn't be doing it, but how far back are we pulling bleachers? Like, are we going to have big walls at the end zones? What's it going to look like?
Yeah, so we'll actually have to retract every side 6 rows. So we'll lose 6 rows, but we'll still house over 6,000. So you know, with the standing room only seats, the various on the field suites that we have, will be right around 6,000 tickets. But yeah, we do have to push back the first 6 rows around to get our field.
So you're looking to have an on-field suites then, it sounds like? Actual field level suite? Okay.
Yes.
That seems to be a big trend lately. A lot of teams seem to be going to that.
Yep. Yeah, it's awesome. And the first time that I went to a game, a player flipped over the dasher and onto a table, knocked their beers everywhere, and it was I don't think I've ever seen grown men jumping down up and down like that before in my life. They thought it was the greatest thing ever. So we want that experience. We might have our quarterback throw a few errant passes on purpose just to get that experience for everybody. But we have to be winning by several touchdowns at that point. You know, we're not going to do that just off the bat.
So, and I know it's early, and so if you don't have these ready, so like Zach said at the beginning, the hardcore arena fans will get into the details and the minutia of the game. You know, like, oh, that's the wrong shade of yellow on the goalpost, and like it gets crazy. How are the walls looking to be fastened? Because that's been an issue in some previous teams.
Well, might as well throw in the nets too while we're at it.
And the nets, I mean, nets. I mean, I'm assuming there's plenty of height for the nets, but the walls, because this isn't a hockey arena, right? So, how are the walls gonna be fastened? Have we looked into that?
So we actually today they have some breakaway steel braced barricades that they use for concerts that'll actually go right against this, and they are some heavy suckers, so they're not moving anywhere.
Nice.
And with us having to retract the seats, we were originally thinking we were going to have to put in some long 2x4s or whatever to brace them, which would have taken away from our floor seats. So Regina Hensley at ASM Global came up with this idea, like, why don't we use these barricades? And today we looked at them, and they're perfect. They only sit out about 2 feet, but these suckers weigh 500 pounds a piece. So it today was a good
Nice.
find. It was actually really good. But yeah, that'll be a really good thing because I do know that Oregon had some issues with their system. So it's a good deal, really good deal. We found that today.
Yeah.
I think PJ is asking probably the most important question. When can they get into season tickets? When do those go on sale?
Or deposits.
Or deposits? Yeah.
Knock on wood. Knock on wood. Tomorrow. We actually finalized our season ticket pricing today.
Perfect.
So they are building that out in Ticketmaster probably as we speak. So hopefully by the end of the week, if not very first of next
So
week.
keep an eye out, PJ. They're coming soon. So
All right. It's all coming together.
I know. Isn't that great?
Yes, it is.
Now, we talked about.
Now I just have to fill the next 7 months of keeping this in front of me.
The grand challenge. But see, hey, we got all this stuff. We got new jerseys that we got coming out and waiting for, and the helmet logo reveal and all that stuff. I mean, full disclosure, I did part of this last year in social work for what was supposed to be a team at one point. So I know what you're going to go through. You got things you can talk about. It'll be good. I'm excited for your signing.
Yeah. Mascot will come in. We'll do a good thing with that.
Yeah. And the roster.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We will have a big. Oh yeah.
So we talked about the Cats, but the other announcement that came at the Crown was Michigan. You got a nice spot there between two fairly local teams. Like that's something that really only Kansas teams had any luck with last year. So that's got to help a lot.
Yeah, those are awesome because they're bus rides. Yeah, bus rides. We can get charter buses for fans. Traveling buses to those arenas. I think that's going to be great. And that's something we talked about at the Arena Crown was trying to build rivalries. Want to have divisions that we can build the rivalries, get that fan base traveling. They're doing it right. Jerry, Jeff, Christy, Adam, Gary, everyone in the league office is doing things the right way. They're picking and choosing which teams and which geographic location they want to make it easy for travel for us and to build those rivalries where fans will want to go to the game, and because it's going to be a battle, and that's what we want with Nashville, Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Didn't hear that. No one heard that.
And Albany. Those guys.
No one heard that.
No one heard that. Delete that. And that's not even a fact anyway. That's not true anyway.
So I want to put out a quick promo here. So I haven't even told you about this QR code up in the top corner. I make smartwatch faces for all the different teams. I've already got you guys up and running on there. So, fans scan that code up there. I don't make any money off of it. It's just free,
cool.
Free promotion, free, get fans out there wearing your logo as soon as possible. So yeah, I know there's a couple of you guys on there. Scan up that code, throw it on your watch. And yeah, if you have any suggestions, any tips, I'll take them.
Love it. Thank
you. I don't want to take up too much of your time. Like I said, it's off season. Really, all we got is the teams, the new teams right now. Actually, somebody did bring up. Do we have a timeline on jersey reveals, helmet reveals, anything like that? I know we want to trickle those out. We don't want to do everything all at once.
We don't. Yeah. I think I already let one cat out of the bag. I don't know another cat out of the bag.
Fair.
But we're working on a jersey deal. We're working on a jersey deal with a company, so we're waiting for that. We do have our colors and everything picked out, the font that we want. We're just waiting to see where we can take that.
Yeah, each supplier is going to have their limitations and whatnot. So,
and that's all I'm giving.
Fair enough. So, but yeah, like I said, I don't want to take up too much of your time. Like I said, there's not games to go over. Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to catch up with you at the Crown. I wish I'd known you were there. Definitely would have sat down with you for a bit. But
I was in the background.
Oh, there's a lot of
Yeah.
folks in the background. I noticed that night. So, but yeah, like I said, Zach, did you have much
Yeah.
else? Like I said, I don't want to keep them too long.
Not much else. I do want to. I think Dave Williams has a good question. Just one last one to kind of tie up a bow on the field, on the conditions. What do you have a used field system? Is it going to be a new field system for you guys, like turf? You have anything on that?
We're going
All
brand
right.
new. Yep. We're going to go brand new. Yeah. Yep. We're going to get the interlocking system.
Squares.
Field's beautiful. Yep. A lot easier to put down in the rollout field. I had to deal with that the one game that I went to down south, and those fields are terrible. So yeah, we're going to get a brand new field. We want everything here to be fresh and new, and you can't build a championship team on a used field that's ripped. So we're going brand new.
Beautiful.
Yeah, players will appreciate that too. So I mean, even extra bit right there. So that's great for them as well.
So
yeah.
We don't need any ACL.
You're darn right. Absolutely none.
Well, that system, it's a fairly new system. If you change out a sponsor, you can just pop out the tiles, put in the new one. You don't have to cut out anything else to stitch stuff up. It's just pop and go. I mean, they're so versatile. They take up less storage space. They're easier to store. There's a million reasons why these new tiles are the way to go for sure. So
yeah, and that's another thing we want to do is for sponsors at the end of the year pop up their tile and they get
cool. That is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's something we want to do for our field sponsors. Is hey, every year we want to do this. If you want to keep coming back, we'll keep giving you squares. But we want to at the end of the year pop it out, put it in your office.
There's some company that decides they want to wallpaper their wall with it. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
There you go. I'm all for that, by the way.
What's the best way to reach you, to get a hold of you, whether they're fan, sponsor, player, whatever? What's the best way to reach you to get to you?
Yep. Through the website, kybarrelsfootball.com. You can chat with us on there, and that goes directly to me. We don't have any filters there. It's just straight to me. So, if you're going back and forth, you're going back and forth with me right now.
And I see your X page is up and running. Facebook coming soon.
We are on Facebook, Kentucky Barrels Football. Yeah, we're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Pretty sure they threw a MySpace out there too. I don't know.
I'll have to look.
We're trying to cover
I'll
all
have
the
to look
bases.
for that Facebook one. I haven't. Oh, there it is. I just found it. Cool. We got you. So, but yeah, thank you so much.
I wouldn't.
No. Like I just want to make sure. I want to make sure we got you covered. I wasn't able to find it. That's why I didn't tag you on Facebook earlier. But yeah,
there you go.
I mean, thank you so much for your time. This has been a blast. Yeah, I mean, I can't wait. I'm looking forward to coming out there for sure. So I think Zach, you might take a trip out
love to
too.
have you guys. Absolutely. Give me a heads up and we'll get you guys.
Oh,
taken care
of. For any teams that are close to where I'm from, you can consider me a fan of the Barrels now. So I'm locked in. You got me. I'm trying to make my way back out. Bring the Keilman clan.
Love it. There you go. We'll take care of you. We'll get you taken care of.
So, all right. Well, if you can hang on for a couple minutes here, chat with you off the air. But yeah, thank you so much. Really, really appreciate your time. And it looks like we've already got something lined up for next week. So, guys, keep an eye out on our schedules. Keep an eye on our socials. We'll have some announcements here pretty soon. So, Corey, thank you so much. Zach, thank you so much for stepping in. Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
And until next time, y'all take care.
Yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Touchdowns, tackles we discuss.